Grade 10 and grade 11, we're going to be looking at some bonding and how to draw lower start structures to show bonding. So the first question here, they ask us to use lower start structures to show the bonding in chlorine. Now the first thing we would do is, we know that we would have a chlorine atom bonding with another chlorine atom, and that would give us chlorine gas. So we need to look to see if we're working with metals or non-metals, and we know that chlorine is a non-metal because it is on the left side of the step on the periodic table. So we're working with two non-metals, and when we have a non-metal plus a non-metal, this is known as covalent bonding, where we will get the sharing of the valence electrons, and that is the definition of covalent bonding, sharing of valence electrons. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our lower start structure. So we look at the group number. Chlorine comes from group 7, so we're going to draw 7 dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we start pairing them. 5, 6, 7, and we can see we've got one unpaired electron there. And the same thing on this side, we draw 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's going to happen is these unpaired electrons are going to share their valence electrons. So they would come stand really close together, and we'd get a shared pair between them. I'm going to just change these to crosses so that you can see the difference. A lower start diagram, you can use a dot or a cross. So for the right hand side, I'm going to use crosses. And this is what we have. So you can see that they are sharing one pair of electrons. And if I want to draw the Cooper notation, this is what it would look like. And that is the bonding in chlorine gas. So now we're going to look at the next one, hydrochloric acid HCl. So hydrogen, we know hydrogen is in group 1 in the periodic table, so 1 dot. And chlorine is in group 7, so we would draw 7 dots. And to determine the type of bonding, again, we look at whether we're working with metals or non-metals. And we can see that hydrogen on the left-hand side of the periodic table, however, it is a non-metal. And chlorine is also a non-metal. Non-metal and non-metal would result in a covalent bond. Covalent telling us they would share their valence electrons. So this unpaired electron in hydrogen and this unpaired electron in chlorine would share. So the hydrogen with its unpaired and the chlorine with that unpaired, and they would share that pair. And that is the lower start structure for hydrochloric acid. Coming to the last one on this page, NaCl, sodium is in group 1, so 1 dot, and chlorine in group 7, so that would be 7 dots again. And now the very important thing that we need to look at, so we know that sodium is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. And when we work with metals and non-metals, the type of bonding that would occur is ionic. So covalent bonding was where they share valence electrons. Ionic bonding is the transfer of an electron. And it is usually the metals which transfer the electrons. So you can see that sodium has only one unpaired, it has only one electron dot, valence electron, and chlorine has 7. So sodium is going to transfer its electron over to chlorine. The metals give away the electrons very easily. Once sodium has lost an electron, it becomes positively charged. So we say positive 1, it's lost an electron. Chlorine now has a full set, because remember, it gained 1 electron. So because it gained an electron, it gets a negative charge to its name, and we use a square bracket to represent that. So this is ionic bonding. So it's a little bit different to how we would work with covalent bonding. So just quick recap, always draw your lower start structures, a dot or a cross to represent each valence electron. So we look at the group number and we draw the dots according to that. Covalent bonding would be sharing, and ionic bonding is transfer of electrons. I hope you found this video useful. Please like if you did, subscribe so that you don't miss future videos, and share this video with your friends so that more learners can benefit from these lessons.